Hey guys, so I am back with another Total Divas Season 9 review. If you did not watch my reviews for episode 1, please go check that out. So, this episode starts with Sonya, and Sonya is still not over her ex-girlfriend Ariana, and although she told the other ladies that she was not going to contact Ariana, she was going to give Ariana her space, it ended up being Valentine's Day, and Sonya thought it was a good idea to get Ariana some flowers and show up to her house with them to surprise her with them. Now, when she showed up there, to her surprise, Ariana had flowers for her as well. Now, the two of them ended up going out to dinner together. Let me just say, side note, I really like the way Sonya dresses. I think she dresses so nice, and then I think the way that her and her girlfriend's style combined together looks really good. So I really do think that they look cute together. So they go to dinner, and Sonya is telling Ariana that the reason why she loves being with her and how she feels like she's potentially the one for her is because Ariana can handle Sonya's hectic lifestyle. Now, if you know anything about the WWE, you know that the superstars have very hectic lifestyles. They have to travel all the time. Sometimes they're gone for a whole month straight, away from their family, their friends. They miss out on certain events in people's lives that they probably don't really want to miss out on, but they have to due to contractual obligations. Now, apparently Ariana can handle it, although I don't really think Ariana can handle Sonya's lifestyle because they broke up because of the fact that she couldn't handle not seeing Sonya as much as she wanted to, which is understandable. But you know, she ended up asking Ariana if she wanted to be her girlfriend again, and the two of them ended up getting back together. Meanwhile, Nattie is throwing a birthday party for her mom and for her dad as well because her parents' birthdays are 4 days apart. Now, that's the same with my parents. My parents' birthdays are literally 4 days apart, so a lot of the times they'll just celebrate it together. And so I thought that was sweet that Nattie did that, and although her dad has passed away, she still wants to celebrate his life. So she invites a bunch of wrestlers over to the house that she's really cool friends with and who loved her father, and it seems like Nattie's really trying to keep herself overly busy to distract herself from her father's passing because a lot of people, they don't know how to cope with death and everybody copes differently. And so her thoughts of coping is to drown herself in work and trying to take care of everybody else and just stay busy. So you can tell throughout this scene that she's kind of going through a tough time, and it looks like she wants to cry at every second, but she tries to keep a smile on her face for her mom and her sisters. Now, Titus O'Neil's there, Carmela's there, Trinity's there, Nia Jax is there, and Carmella feels really uncomfortable because Naya's there, and Nattie, who has a track record of being a liar. Okay, so if you've watched the other seasons of Total Divas, you will realize that Nattie has a track record of being a liar. She tells a lot of little white lies, and in order to get Carmella to come to the party, she told Carmella that Naya wasn't going to be there, and she told Naya that Carmella wasn't going to be there. Now, Carmella ends up going up to Charlie and I think one of the other ladies, and she tells her that she feels uncomfortable with Naya being there, but she thinks it's good that if she goes up to Naya and gives her a hug. So she goes up to Naya, greets her to try to be the bigger person. I think it was dumb that they hugged. I don't think they should have hugged each other because they don't really like one another. They could have just said hi and been done, because I can't do the fake shit. I'm not going to hug you if I don't like you, but I can be cordial and be in the same room as you. So they give a fake hug, and Naya says that she didn't feel the need to hug Carmella because she doesn't like her and she doesn't care for her. But I'm just like, then why'd you hug her then? You should have just put your hand out. I was like, nope, I'll shake your hand. Or you should have took your hand out and just patted her on her shoulder or something like that. just don't hug her if you don't really like her. So the ladies are shocked, okay, when they see Sonya and Ariana together, because Sonya had told them in the last episode when they all went to lunch together that she wasn't going to call or contact Ariana because that ends up getting them. It looks like she's trying too hard to get the girl to want to be with her, and Carmella was saying that the only time Ariana will contact Sonya first is if Sonya gives her some space. So Sonya said she was going to give Ariana some space, and then they end up showing up to the party together. So Carmella ends up pulling Sonya aside to talk to her about them being back together, and she tells her that they went out to dinner together on Valentine's Day and they talked about all the issues that they had in their relationship the first go round, and they decided to get back together again. Now, Carmela is really close friends with Sonya, so she's happy for her regardless of that. So Carmela ends up telling Sonya that she's in love, and Sonya gets all excited, which is what friends do. We hear that you're in love, or we hear that you're seeing somebody, we immediately get excited, and we want to know who you're talking about. But Carmela would not tell Sonya who the person that she's dating is, because she wants to keep it under wraps, because when she was dating Big Cass, everybody knew about it. It was publicized, people knew their business and stuff like that, and with this new relationship, she doesn't want it to be like that, so she's keeping it under wraps, even from her friends. So they end up going to cut the cake, okay? Nattie gives a speech thanking everybody for coming to celebrate both her parents and how appreciative she is about it. Now, Trinity could tell by looking at Nattie while she was giving the speech that she looked like she was stressed out. And so Trinity, being the good friend that she is, because I really think Trinity has like the biggest heart out of all the ladies on Total Divas. I think she has the biggest heart, and I feel like she shows it more than the other ladies do. And she ended up pulling Nattie to the side, and they go into Nattie's room, and she tells Nattie that she can tell that she's trying so hard to stay busy and that she's taking care of everybody else and she's putting her own feelings and emotions aside. And Nattie was saying that she just wanted the party to be perfect. She doesn't want her mom or her sisters to be sad, but that she really wishes that her father was there. And if you watched other seasons of Total Divas, you would know how close Nattie and her father was. She absolutely loved him. They were together a lot, and she loved her dad, had a really close relationship with him. So it was obvious that his passing would be really hard on her. And so she starts breaking down in tears, and Trinity consoles her and lets her know that she needs to take time to really grieve, because she's not allowing herself to grieve, and you can see the stress all over Nattie's face throughout this episode. And so all the ladies are getting concerned about Nattie, because you can tell that she's holding back everything she's feeling. So Sonya goes to see Carmela in Carmela's hotel room, because Carmela told her that she wants to tell her who she's dating. So she tells Sonya that she's dating Cory Graves. Now, if you don't know who Cory Graves is, he used to wrestle and he got injured, and so now he does commentary for WWE. Now, she was saying how she's so happy, how much she likes Cory, how much she loves him, and how happy she is in the relationship with him, but that she always contemplates whether or not she should stay in the relationship with him, because she feels like she's going to be judged, because he was married and he's in the middle of a divorce, and him and his wife have been separated for a period of time, and they both live in separate houses. But she said that she had a fear of being judged by people because of Cory's situation. Now, Sonya told that she shouldn't care what other people think, because she needs to worry about her own happiness. And I agree with Sonya. She does need to worry about her own happiness. If she's happy with Cory and she knows that he's separated and he's in the process of a divorce, then if she wants to be with him, then she wants to be with him. But I also can understand Carmela's cold feet, because social media is just horrible when it comes to attacking people. People don't even read anymore. They kind of just, or do their research anymore. They kind of just see a headline and they run with it. So I can understand why she has cold feet and feels like she's going to be judged because of Cory's situation, where he's in the middle of a divorce. All the ladies are backstage for Monday Night Raw, prepping for their matches, and they find out by Alexa Bliss that the women's tag team championships have been revealed, and that all the women will be competing in a tag match at Elimination Chamber to get these championships. Now, obviously, all the ladies want a shot at these tag titles, because they haven't had tag titles. So not for the women, for the men they've had them, but not for the women. So they all want to be a part of that match, and I can understand that they do. And so far, all the ladies have tag team partners, but Nattie doesn't have one. And so far, Nattie's not competing in this match, and she's really upset about it. And so she goes to Rhonda Rousey and she tells her that she misses having her as a tag partner, because Nattie and Rhonda were tag partners for a certain amount of time after Rhonda's storyline with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had came to an end. And they had her temporarily tag with Nattie, and now that they're no longer tagging together and Rhonda's a singles competitor, that leaves Nattie all by herself. So Rhonda was saying how she could tell that Nattie's trying to build her plate up with work so that she doesn't have to focus on grieving the loss of her father. And so Rhonda has experienced losing her father. She was 8 years old when her father had committed suicide. And so she understands how tough it is to deal with the loss of a parent. And she just wants Nattie to allow herself to grieve so that she's not piling her plate up with so much work. And that's what Nattie's doing. And you can see the stress all over Nattie's face, and people are just a little bit concerned about it. So Nattie ends up going to multiple different wrestlers backstage, and she's telling them about how she wants to be a part of the match because it's the first ever, and she wants to be a part of all the first evers. Now, when she gets to Naya, I knew it wasn't going to really go good because Naya had already mentioned this about Nattie to the Bella twins when they were going to Paige's movie premiere. Naya had said to the Bella twins that Nattie always wants to be a part of all the first ever. So when Nattie came up to Naya telling her how she wanted to be a part of this big moment for women's wrestling, Naya had an issue with it because Naya felt like Nattie's always trying to be a part of everything, and she felt like Nattie needs to learn to realize she's not going to be a part of everything. And Nattie was kind of not having it, and she was just adamant about being a part of this match. Now, Naya let her know that she's being kind of selfish because she's not cheering on the other women who are a part of the match and being happy for those other women. She's just worried about herself not even being in the match. Now, I did felt like Naya could have handled Nattie in a different type of way than the way that she did, because Naya could be a little snippy sometimes with people. But I also feel like that's Naya. She's upfront. And I just feel like, Nattie wasn't having it. Nattie didn't like the way that Naya was talking to her. So Nattie got up and she stormed off and let Naya know that she didn't like the way she handled her. Now, I do feel like it's something that Naya needs to work on, the way she speaks to people, because she's going to have a really bad reputation of being a smart mouth backstage. So I hope that she learns, she watches this season and kind of sees that maybe she could make some changes as to the way that she does her delivery, because I feel like you should always be honest with people, but there's a way to say something to where you're not coming off as just mean. So while Rhonda's having an evening with her family and friends, she gets a phone call from Nattie, and it's Nattie talking about how she needs to hurry up and find her spot for WrestleMania. Now, Rhonda seems confused about Nattie bringing up WrestleMania, because at this point, WrestleMania was like months and months away, and she couldn't understand why Nattie was stressing about it. So she told Nattie, calm down, relax. You'll get your spot at WrestleMania. Just try not to stress over it. Just be calm and be in the moment of what's happening right now. But Nattie's kind of hard to console sometimes because she's just like really intense a lot when it comes to things. And when she starts obsessing over things, she really starts to obsess over things. But I really like the way Rhonda handled her. I feel like she was being honest with Nattie, but she also wasn't being mean to her. She was being patient with her, and she was just kind of trying to let her know that she needs to relax because she's too tense all the time. And so Nattie ends up getting off the phone with Rhonda so Rhonda could spend more time with her family, and Rhonda goes to her husband and lets her know that she's having concerns about Nattie because she could tell that Nattie's so stressed out and that she's overworking herself. Now, Travis let her know that people deal with grief in different types of ways, which he's right. People deal with grief definitely in different ways, and Nattie's grieving in a way that other people don't think is healthy for her. And he did let Rhonda know, that if she's concerned about Nattie, she should talk to her about it, which I think Rhonda, if anybody's going to get to Nattie and talk to her and try to calm her down and let her understand that she needs to relax, it would be Rhonda. So I hope that Rhonda can get through to Nattie, because I feel like Nattie needs to allow herself to grieve. So it's the night of Elimination Chamber, and so much drama is going on backstage. Now, I watched Elimination Chamber. I had no idea that all this shit was going on backstage, though. Although I did see the stuff all over the internet about what was going on. But Carmella pulls Sonya to the side, and Sonya could see the stress all in Carmella's face. So Carmella tells Sonya that she's literally trending all over the internet worldwide over rumors of her and Cory Graves being together and how she broke up their family. Now, the reason why it's being said that she broke up their family was because when Cory Graves' ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, found out that he was in a relationship with Carmella, she went onto social media and said that Carmella broke up their family. Now, I thought that was wrong for his ex-wife to do. Well, they were separated at the time, in the process of a divorce, living in separate houses. I thought that that was wrong for her to make a social media post accusing her of ruining her relationship. I don't even know why she felt the need to even put that on social media like that. But all I know is that when you're hurt, you do all types of different things. And so, but I just feel like, why would she put that all over the internet, knowing the day that it is? Like, this is a serious day for them in WWE with the Elimination Chamber, and now she has to stress over her trending all over the internet. Somebody can get hurt with her being so distracted by what's going on social media about her. And so, Sonya tries to calm her down, but there is no calming Carmella down at this point because she's being attacked all over social media. I don't know if anybody of you guys seen it, but she was attacked hard on social media, and she was being called a homewrecker. She was being called a hoe. She was being called, she was getting death threats. She was literally getting death threats, and I seen that too. She was getting death threats, which is insane to me. I don't know what type of mindset somebody has to be in to give death threats to somebody they don't know over a situation they know nothing about. That's insane to me. It's like, what type of mindset do you have to be in to be that invested in people's lives you don't even know, to be wishing death upon people for something that has nothing to do with you? So I thought that was weird. I thought that was wrong. And, I actually did feel bad for Carmella. Even if you don't really like her too much, or you don't really like her character on WWE, you have to admit that the way she was being treated online that night was horrible. So Naya and Charlie were gossiping while Nia was getting her makeup done about the Cory and Carmelas situation, and Nia was saying that Carmella looks like a homewrecker. And I felt like Nia was wrong for that, because I feel like she's kind of stirring the pot because she doesn't like Carmella. And I like Nia. I do. I like Nia. But I feel like this season is kind of making her look like a big old bully. And that's what she's kind of looking like, because she said that. It's like, I don't understand why she would say something like that, knowing the girl's already getting all types of death threats and stuff like that. So I think it's insane. So Carmella's walking around backstage, and she's feeling extremely uncomfortable. She feels like everybody's looking at her. And so she ends up running into Cory, and she tells him that they need to go talk. So they go outside away from everybody else because people are already staring at them. And they start talking about the situation. And Cory says that he doesn't know why his estranged wife was saying these things about her on social media, and that she had asked him if he was seeing Carmella, and he told her that yes, he was seeing Carmella. And so she ended up going online and putting all these accusations on social media for everybody to see. Now Carmella's crying, and she's getting really aggy at this point because she's being looked at as the bad guy, and Cory's not really being looked at as bad, which I feel like if he was separated when they got together and they were living in separate houses and in the process of a divorce, like their divorce was literally going on at the moment, I don't feel like his wife had rights to go on social media and put that information up like that. I think that was wrong for her to do. And I'm probably going to get dragged in the comment section for saying that, but I personally don't think that his ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife should have did that on social media like that. I think that was doing too much. So at this point, Carmella doesn't want to hear anything Cory has to say, and she literally storms off crying. So, Elimination Chamber starts, okay, and it's the women's tag team match. And Sonya and Mandy, who are tag team partners, do a move off the ropes, and they fall back on the mat. And Sonya lands really hard on her shoulder, and she feels shooting pains in her shoulder. So she's just laying there for a moment in the ring. And I watched the Elimination Chamber, but I didn't know that she got injured from it. Now, she ends up realizing during the match that she's laying there and she needs to finish the match. So she gets up, and she was really strong for getting up when she was in pain like that. But she got up and she finished the match, and Sasha and Bayley ended up winning, which I was happy about. I wasn't happy about it, but I was fine with Sasha and Bayley winning. I didn't really like Sasha and Bayley as a team, though. I like them better when they're going against each other, because I thought their storyline together on NXT was a really good one. So anyways, the match ends. Sasha and Bayley win the match, and they go backstage. Now, Mandy, who is Sonya's tag team partner, realizes that there's something wrong with Sonya, and she tells Sonya to go to the trainer's room to go get checked out. Now, Sonya goes into the trainer's room, and the trainer lets her know that she has to go through all these different tests to make sure that she's cleared to wrestle again. And Sonya's really stressed out about this because she has her gay pride event coming up where she's supposed to be on a float representing WWE at Fort Lauderdale Gay Pride. Okay? And she has to still decorate her float. And so she feels like she's not even going to be able to do that. So I think some time goes by and she's in the car. She's driving with her friends and her family members and her girlfriend on the way to dinner. And she gets the phone call finding out that she did not get cleared. And so she's really stressed out at this point in time because her and Mandy have been getting all types of opportunities at this point in time. And she feels like that's just going to be ruined by her having to sit on the bench for a while. Now, after dinner, I think it's the next day, they go to the beach to start decorating her float. Now, they go to decorate the float, and she has a whole group with her. She has some of her family members. She has some of her own personal friends, her girlfriend. She has Carmela, Trinity, Charlie, all there to support her and help her get this float done. Now, Carmela is stressed out while she's there, okay? This is a very stressful episode for Carmela. Now, she was stressed out because she had ended up getting text messages from Nikki Bella about her confronting her about what Naya told her at Paige's premiere party. Naya told the Bella twins, well, she told Nikki Bella that Carmela was talking shit about the match that they had together in their little feud in WWE, which was not true. Naya definitely over-exaggerated what Carmela was trying to say. Naya, if you watched last week's episode, told Carmela that she runs from hits and she's scared to take a hit, and Carmela said, well, no, I'm not scared to take a hit. Did you not see my black eye I got when I wrestled Nikki Bella? So I felt like Naya was starting trouble and stirring the pot when she went and told Nikki Bella that Carmela was talking shit about their feud, because she didn't. And so she starts breaking down crying about it because she feels like Naya is just attacking her and stirring up trouble between her and somebody else now. And so she starts breaking down crying, and Sonya tries to comfort her, and Carmela feels like she already has enough on her plate, which she does, because she already has a situation with her and Cory going on that's causing all types of drama in her life, where she's even getting death threats for it. So she really doesn't want to deal with the situation with Naya. Now, she realizes that she feels like she's being selfish because this day is about Sonya, and she ends up wiping away her tears, and they go to try to set up Sonya's float for gay pride. So that concluded this week's episode of Total Divas. I thought it was a pretty good episode overall. I feel like Cory is going to have to talk to his ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, about her posting things on social media about their personal business, because she knew that it was going to get Carmela attacked, and it absolutely did. She got death threats and everything, so I feel like that wasn't cool. I also feel like Carmela should stop worrying so much about what people think about her, because if people are going to like you, they're going to like you, and if they don't, they don't. As long as she feels like she's being the best person she could be, she needs to not worry about what people think about her. Although social media could be a very toxic place, it's used more for drama than it is for good. So I feel like she should focus less on social media at this point in her life. I also hope that Nattie can let herself grieve the death of her father, because she's not allowing herself to do it, and that's why she's trying to pile up so much work on herself. I also feel like Nattie should try to find what the next step in her career is. Even if she's not an in-ring competitor, she could take on another role within WWE and still be successful and still feel fulfilled, because she does have a really good career to look back on, and I feel like she's just scared to let go of being an in-ring competitor. And then with Sonya Deville, hopefully her shoulders heal so that her and Mandy could get more opportunities within WWE. Although I think that Sonya would be a good solo competitor. Hopefully they give her more opportunities, because I feel like she could bring more to the table that they don't give her the opportunity to do. Thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you all so very much. You guys make this so much fun for me. You guys are always active in the comment section, and I really appreciate it, because you guys make this more enjoyable for me to do. Subscribe to my channel. I will be reviewing more shows than just Total Divas. I do plenty of other shows, and will be doing many, many more as they come along. So once again, thank you for all the support. And until next time, I'll see you in my next video.